Dogelon Mars has seen its fair share of pump and dumps. Currently we are rather in a pump. How much longer can we pump though? Let's have a look at on-chain metrics most people aren't considering. Let's see if it still makes sense to buy into this rally. Now we're currently at a price of 6033 and we have gone through several rather dramatic ups but also downs. And here's the problem, right? Whenever a price goes up, this creates attention. This is when most retail investors buy to then afterwards get wrecked. Very few people buy at the bottom. Now this is not the first video on the ELON token on this channel. I published another video 1 year ago with the last pump. And that video did outperform slightly the average video, right? The average video is here in gray, and that Dogelon Mars video is the line in blue at the upper end here. And so the price really hasn't changed that much since then. At the time we were also at 6 zeros, at that point 3.5, now we are at 3.3. Not much of a change, while the rest of the market went up substantially. Now here's the very long-term chart. Especially in 2021, we had a dramatic rise of more than 4,000%. Since then, we tended to bleed with rather smaller pump and dumps. In the last 24 hours on chain, we've seen 651 wallets trading the token, most of them being buyers. On chain, we've got now 161,000 holders, but not all of those holders are created equal, right? Some of them have just a few cents of the token. Others have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of the token. So let's dive a bit deeper. The ownership is somewhat concentrated. We've got centralized exchanges that own vast portions of the supply. So we've got Crypto.com here, we've got OKX, we've got KuCoin, we've got Binance, we've also got MEXC and BitGet. And so most trading actually does not happen on Ethereum, right? Because Ethereum also has very high gas fees. Most trading happens with the market makers, with the centralized exchanges. And it is led by Gate.io. There are also perpetual futures contracts, so bets on the price, derivative contracts, that's also dominated by Gate.io. Still, there are 160,000 holders on chain and we can get some information from that data. We saw a lot of adoption in the very early days, right, when we hit the 4,000% increase. Then a lot of retail investors tended to sell, but this is now turning around. Retail tends to rather accumulate again over the long term, right? This is a very zoomed out chart starting in April of 2021. And what we see on the left is actually the number of tokens that currently equate to $1,000 worth of the token. For the chart in the middle, we go at 10x from that. So that's now $10,000 worth of the token. And for the chart on the right, another 10x. So that's $100,000 worth of the token. It seems like small retail tends to accumulate the slowest because they are not at an all-time high yet. Medium-sized retail and the whales are. But let's have a look at what happened in the last month. Again, where we had a massive run-up, potentially a short squeeze because long-term Dogelon Mars doesn't perform that well. And so the market makers might just be buying up the token in order to liquidate people. Then a subsequent dump, then a recovery. We are up 46% this month. What happened on chain? Here is what happened on chain. We see the history for the same kind of holding thresholds, but now only for the last month on an hourly time frame. And actually, the number of retail investors didn't change that much. Medium-sized retail did buy up initially with the pump to then afterwards sell off even more. And we're seeing a similar kind of shakeup for the whales. But again, net, we didn't really change that much over the course of the last month, despite the price being now up by 46%. And so with a price squeeze like this, of course, a lot of new wallets enter the token as well. So that's what we see on the left side. We see the number of new users versus returning users per day. And on the right side, that's normalized to 100% per day. And there was definitely way more new people interested in the token compared to what happened prior in the month. But now we tend to normalize again, right? We're not yet at completely quiet levels, but we are trending towards that. A very similar effect can be seen in the number of daily buyers and sellers. Again, attention moves in waves and it makes sense to sell whenever there's a lot of attention and it makes sense to buy when there is zero attention, but that's very hard, right? It's hard to buy a token nobody is talking about and just hoping for the next attention wave to come. Now, crypto as a whole is clearly expanding right now. The stablecoin market cap is going up. That means that people are sending their fiat currency indirectly, for example, through centralized exchanges to the stablecoin issuers. So whenever money is flowing into crypto, we see the stablecoin market cap going up. Whenever money is flowing out of crypto, we tend to see the stablecoin market caps going down. Over here is the Terra Luna collapse. So this is when UST went bust. Afterwards, we had the FTX collapse. And then since October of 2023, we are expanding again. So money is flowing into crypto. People are sending their fiat to the issuers. And then we can see that issuance here on chain. Now, had you bought Bitcoin in October of 2023, the gains would have been nice. So that's an appreciation of 281% in the span of a bit over a year. But then there's of course inherent leverage in smaller tokens, right? It takes a lot of money to move Bitcoin. It doesn't take that much money to move something like Fartcoin, for example. Fartcoin, since listing on CoinMarketCap, went up by 18,000%. Isn't that better than just holding Bitcoin? The art is of course to find something like Fartcoin early, right? To be among the insiders, to be among the people that tend to make the right trades. And here is how I personally find those tokens early. I made a video on Fartcoin very early on this channel, and the way I did this is I got an alert that Kyle Chessy bought the token at 5 cents. That was on October 23rd, and I got that alert via on-chain analysis. So through various techniques we can find what influencer owns what kind of wallet, and then we can get those wallets and get alerts whenever those wallets transact. And so for Kyle Chessy, for example, we've got 12 wallets that we are following. Here is his YouTube channel. He's got 141,000 subscribers. And this is how the price developed since that alert, right? A very nice gain, much better than just buying and holding Bitcoin. And also over a shorter time period, right? This is October of 2024, and the crypto expansion started in October of 2023. So 1 year since that alert. And so really, this is, I believe, how to make money. It's very important to have an edge in the market, to know more than the rest. It's not enough to just buy the largest of the tokens, because again, it's all about the upside. Have a look at the top performing meme tokens in the last 7 days. It's all relatively small market caps. It's in the tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions. Each and every single token made at least 100% in the last week. This is very different to the largest meme coins, right? Not a single one of those tokens made 100% in the last week. It's really about buying those small tokens and buying them early, knowing those tokens before others do, knowing those tokens when the smart money is buying in as well. And so I just bought another token today. This time Crypto God John bought the token for $50,000. And we don't necessarily need to get the best traders always, right? It's just enough to follow traders that have a lot of followers, right? Crypto God John has 775,000 followers. When he talks about a token, of course this generates attention, and attention leads to purchases, and purchases lead to rising prices. It's not even necessarily about following the smartest people. It's just about following the people that have other people that follow them, so that we simply have purchases after our purchase. Since that alert, the price of that token more than doubled already. And so we're not just following Kyle Chessy and Crypto God John. Another influencer that has very high risk plays is Crypto Gains. He's got 144,000 subscribers. He buys into very small tokens as well, and he's got a very loyal following. And we've got 55 of his wallets. He's changing wallets more often than other people change their underwear, so this is why the number is so inflated. But we've also got wallets by the really big guys, the people that might not buy the super micro caps, but that have a lot of following to still move even bigger tokens. For example, Crypto Banter, 1.4 million subscribers, and 33 wallets of them are tracked by us. I really like this strategy. That's why I made a dedicated tutorial course just on that topic. How can we find influencer wallets? So there are several approaches. How can we then also track those wallets, and how can we finally interpret the signals that we get from the tracking? It's all part of the premium membership of this channel. Premium is not just about wallet tracking, it's also about risk mitigation. It's also about on-chain analytics, right? The charts that we have seen in this video. There are more than 100 tutorial videos in total in premium. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $165 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, just message me within the first 7 days and I'll refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. Now, here's the thing. Trading volume and price is very much correlated. When all eyes are on a token, then there tends to be more buyers pushing up the price. When nobody is looking at an asset, then the price tends to rather go down because people tend to take profit. And so what we see here in white is the trading volume per day. And again, we see this wave pattern, and currently we are very high historically. What we see at the top is the price of the ELON token relative to Bitcoin. So this is not the US dollar price. This is the price relative to BTC. And we tend to be in a relatively constant downward movement, right? ELON tends to do pretty bad relative to Bitcoin long term. It's not super clear, right? We can't 100% draw a line that starts from here and goes to the current prices. There are some breakouts, but the trend is relatively clear. Sometimes we move up, that's during a short squeeze, very likely, and then we deflate. And probably, this is my best guesstimate, at some point we will deflate again. Will we turn around tomorrow? Who knows? There could be a second run up, especially if enough people short the token now. But I don't see a reason why the long-term trend should change at all. Because just have a look at this, right? The number of buyers is actually increasing over time. And that's happening since June, July of 2022. But since then, still the price tended to underperform Bitcoin by quite a lot. So that's now 74%. So the market makers and the insiders, they've got a lot of the supply and they simply just sell into those rallies. And in order to generate some attention every now and then, they pump up the price and then let the people buy those bags. Now, the issue with shorting the token is that the market cap is already quite low. And the lower the market cap is, the more potential for manipulation there is, right? When you've got a token that's many billion in market cap, it takes a lot of money to manipulate the token. But for Dogelon Mars, we've got only 184 million in market cap. And there are meme coins that have been manipulated way higher than that. And so yes, there is the risk of potentially doubling or tripling in the price. The doubling would bring us roughly over here. It would be outside of the ordinary. It's not within the long-term trend, but it's all about being contrarian. If this does not become a popular trade, if people rather buy the token now than shorting it, then probably we will deflate further. Then probably it makes more sense to bet on falling prices than on rising prices. So the long-term trend is pretty clear. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video or see you in premium. Cheers.